Hi, it's Norman Kochnick here for Eyes on Cricket with Norman Kochnick. The reality is that we've just witnessed a match today that saw the Royal Challengers Bangalore absolutely and unceremoniously thump Rajasthan Royals. And the reality is that the table, the actual points table as such, shows RCB on 8 and the likes of Rajasthan Royals on 2. Admittedly, it's still a long way to go. This is only the 16th match of a total of, in fact, 60 to include the playoffs. But it does show very clearly that RCB are in a form of ascendancy at this point and will make the top 4. And Rajasthan Royals are most likely to not make the top 4. There are lots of games in between. There's lots of machinations. In fact, a few games away, we're going to see RCB playing CSK, their nemesis, and that will be an amazing match. I was just on with Siddharth, who was actually one of the regular press guys. He and I talked about that at length. Welcome to Kumar. Hello. The reality is we have a number of players that are in the RCB side that can fire, and they prove that today. Padikkal, quite simply amazing, an amazing century. He outplayed, you would argue, Virat Kohli's day, which Virat Kohli still scored a magnificent 70-odd. They actually had a wonderful 180-run partnership, which actually led to a victory without losing a wicket. And you can't get more emphatic than none for 181, can you? It just exposed the bowling attack of the rather underdeveloped or underachieving Rajasthan Royals bowling lineup. But even, let's go back to RCB. RCB's bowling attack is very well balanced with Jamison and the likes, and obviously Harsh Patel being the purple cap bowler winner at the moment, or not winner, but certainly bowler at the moment. Welcome, Amarish Series. I'm glad you're here. Ankit, Bharat, hello, all you guys. The reality is I've got a few people unavailable today. A partner, Sunny, is meant to be here. I'm waiting for her to confirm. She was up and ready to go not long ago, but we mustn't forget in Australia, which is where a partner is actually with me and with Adam Hollyoak and a whole range of other Australians who are all English players, that is, but also Australian residents. We're in a time zone where it's 4:46 in the morning. In India, it's 1:15 midnight. That's still very late, but it's watchable. You just watched a great game in terms of RCB, but we've got time zone differences here. I'm hoping that we've got some of our English counterparts on, but it's not easy to have a full crowd every day. But I think we can also share our time intimately between myself and yourself. The reality is that we have, and I want the comments from people. I want you to engage me. Bharat R saying it's nice to see the opening position of the Indian team in the T20 World Cup has so many contenders. Great comment, Bharat. The reality is that Padikkal's certainly emerging, but even though he scored a great century there, and he certainly is, he needs to have a tournament like that and continue to play like that. He needs to be there in the final scoring a century at the time when it counts most. That's the end of the season. And that may sneak him into the squad. Clearly, Shikhar Dhawan's also batting tremendously well. He's also a purple cap holder in this series and may well continue to do so. So, Ashok Tatani, hello, are you? We have a reality check on the top 8. It's emerging very clearly that you're going to have Delhi Capitals, Mumbai Indians, it should be, RCB definitely, and obviously CSK, with RCB and CSK both with the best batting averages, net run rates, and that certainly is clear. Ashok Dati says, Padikkal is such a classy batsman. Freakish. Absolutely freakish. He's consistent in domestic cricket, certainly, and has played well in previous IPLs. Now the next stage has to come. But who's he going to displace? Rohit Sharma? KL Rahul? Shikhar Dhawan? Virat Kohli? No, he's going to have trouble breaking through. He may have to come in down the order and bring his way into the team, but let's just wait a little bit longer with Padikkal, even though he's certainly got the talent. He needs to just have a little bit more consistency. Not that he hasn't, but a bit more in the IPL will certainly put him in good stead. Virat Kohli, 70 odd. He scored 6,000 runs now in the IPL. He's killing it in Test, ODI, and T20 format. He's virtually 1, 2, 3 in all of those formats. He is certainly the goods. Virat Kohli's playing a slightly more subdued role this season, slightly more. Don't forget, we've got a team with the likes of AB de Villiers who's killed it last match. Maxwell played very well. Both of them weren't needed today. They weren't needed. But they're playing against a substandard team. Rajasthan Royals do not cut it at this point at all. Total destruction of RR, as with Manu Johnson. You're totally right. It was an absolute destruction. Mentally, they're gone. They can't come back from this. They'll struggle to win games. They've got another tough match coming up next match. Admittedly, they beat Delhi Capitals, which is certainly an aberration. I don't think you can take that as a viewpoint at all. So Guru Dutta Acharya says goodbye. Well, that's good. I'm sure you're having to stuck in a bed. The reality is we have a number of players for RCB that stood up, but I keep maintaining the discussion around the likes of Simon Kevich as their coach, Mike Heston certainly as well, but Dan Christian's presence. They're the significant others. They're going to be there. Again, the dugout. You watch the dugout. We need to get a video. We need to get a video compilation. I'll get Tabashas and I to talk about that, maybe Sri Harsha, to get a compilation of dugout shots, dugout videos, to see the reactions of players in the dugout. I think there's a great video there of actually really getting a true indication of what's happening in the teams. Certainly, I have a feeling at time and time again, RCB is best and Kohli is firing. Certainly firing. And they are the best at the moment. Our mutual favourite, Siraj, he certainly was fantastic as well. Jamison was fantastic. Patel. They've got a lot going for them. I think it's curtains for our Rajasthan Royals, there's no doubt. It is curtains. They can be penciled out. Certainly RR can be penciled out. There's no hope of RR. I would even include a third R. I would say Rajasthan Royals rubbish. And look, I feel sorry. I think they've lost the likes of, as we know, they've lost the likes of Stokes, Jofra Archer. I can't see Jofra Archer coming back into play. I think he will probably not come back. In fact, Jofra Archer's wise. He won't waste himself. I mean, it is a monetary thing. Yes, it's the only driver for him to come. Maybe, I don't know, but he'll play quite a significant part. The interesting thing for the tournament so far, and I would say this is a fair comment, the Australians that are representing there, very few and far between that are doing well. Kane Richardson did well today. Moses Reeks is certainly a player to watch. Daniel Sams is a player to watch. But the rest of it, I mean, Warner, yes. And Smith, yes. They're in and around them. And Pat Cummings, yes. But we've got very few Australians on deck this time. We've got no Stark, no Hazelwood. Josh Philippe, well, he was not really great for him anyway. Then you've got the two Australian bowlers. Oh, my God. Richardson and Meredith shouldn't be here at all. They're not up to it. They're not up to playing it. They may have played okay in BBL, but the BBL is no longer the true benchmark of how you should play IPL. You might see some form there, but the English contingent that exists in the IPL are the ones that are significant backdrop for players. Even some of the players from like the Russian Khans and Shakir Hussain and the West Indian contingent. There's where, and South African to a lesser extent, there's where the contingent comes into play. IPL players are paid if they're injured well, then Jofra Archer needs to be wary of his fitness. All of that money spent on Chris Morris is no way turning out good. Absolutely. And Meredith and what was it? Some, I don't know, 8, 10, 15, 20, 22 calls for those two. Oh, waste of money. They're better off getting a local bowler who will fight and who knows the Indian conditions. The players that play day in, day out on domestic leagues in India prove their mettle and prove their worth for an IPL side more and more. Who would select two Australian players who have never played in India, let alone played in the IPL? It's a massive mistake. Yes, Sabi Biswas, I want our partner saying that she's supposed to be here, but she, like me, it's 4 or 5 in the morning. She's had a bit of a fever. At the moment in Australia, it's very, very, how can I put it, freezing cold. It's like 10 degrees or below, which is very unusual for this earlier stage in this season. I'm going to see what I can get upon now. I'm just going to give her a call. She's got a fever. She's somebody who I'd like to have on, so She's not coming at this stage. I would like to say Marnus and Maxwell have been great. Marnus Labuschagne for Australia. Yeah, he did well. He played well for Queensland in the Sheffield Shield, where Queensland beat New South Wales. He scored, I think, 192. Certainly proving his worth. I've got a lot of time for him, but he's not a captain of Australia, nor is Pat Cummins. They got issues still around that captaincy. Aaron Finch, to me, still has the level head they need. Tim Payne, look, he hasn't done well of late, but he's got to commend him for getting in there and having a go when they most needed him. Harshit Traders is back. That's great to see you back second time. Himanshu is also back. Let's have fans online. Himanshu, that's certainly a good idea. We should think about that. If anyone would like to send me in the message their email address, we might consider that, actually. Give it another 10 minutes. We might consider a fan to come on, certainly. Any fans that are willing to talk. But please, if you're going to come on air, you must be unbiased and you must be responsive. So I could certainly try that today if you want. We certainly like to have people who are as guests coming on. So let's consider that. So Himanshu, I'll have to get your email address if you want me to be a part of it, but we'll see how we go. Give me a few minutes. We'll see how we develop. Good at Acharya. It's a winter season in Australia or not. It's not yet winter, Guru Dutta. It's in fact April, so it's autumn. Winter starts in June, which is not very far away. It's late April now. It's getting colder, but the cold snap is certainly very, very early. And yes, we want people to be interactive. Well, don't worry, guys. We tend to build a very big audience for this session. Usually, well past 5:30 my time, which is another half an hour. We have a transition of audience. We have a lot more people from parts of the world, such as Europe, certainly America, England, India. Still, yes, definitely India, but not as much. Australians start to wake up very soon. In fact, remind me, guys. I've got to go move my car at a certain time, like I did yesterday. I've got it in the wrong position yet again. The timing. Someone keeps parking in my parking spot. I'm annoyed. There's somebody with a blue car who's in my parking spot, which makes me move to another spot. Too many one-sided matches for my liking. Yeah, it certainly is the case. It's a long tournament. The cream rises to the top. We're going to see a lot more thumpings. In fact, I'm expecting the next match, which is between, I think it's, I'm just going to need to check. I think it's Mumbai Indians are playing the next match. I'll just confirm that. If anyone could, I think it's the next match is Punjab Kings, another underperformer, playing Mumbai Indians at Chennai. Then we have Rajasthan Royals, which we just saw. Gives a very good chance to the Kolkata Knight Riders to win that match. Then a rather big match coming up. It'll be the so-called 19th match, so about a third of the way through. Chennai Super Kings versus Royal Challengers Bangalore at the Mumbai Wankhede Stadium. It'll be a great match. SRH there, they're playing a bit further down the track. They're playing Delhi Capitals. Ooh, that's a test for them. They're playing that at Chennai, as a matter of fact. That's the 20th match, which will be on the 26th of April, followed by the Punjab Kings versus KKR. KKR are a bit lucky. They're playing the two bottom sides in their next few matches. That may give them some hope of edging up towards the top four, but we'll see how they go. So, Galton Avula, you're in France. As long as you don't come on to speak French, because I can't speak French, won't be much use to us. It'll be certainly an interesting battle there. There's some great games coming. There's so many. I mean, this is game 16. 16. We've got still another, I think it's another 40 matches in the season. So last game in Chennai tomorrow. Let's have a look at this. The case. Yeah, the 26th is actually the Sunrise Hyderabad is a game against Delhi Capitals, and then you've got Ahmedabad Ahmedabad starts up the game after that. We've got quite a few in Ahmedabad and Delhi, and Ahmedabad. They're the grounds after that. In fact, a lot of the teams will get a bit of a chance to play in Ahmedabad, get a bit of an experience on how they're going to turn out when they play there. So that's fairly significant. I think that'll be an important part of it. So we'll see how that goes. If you want. Okay, let's have a look here. We're going to have, so Ahmedabad's going to feature. So Chennai looks like it's got two matches. The Sunrise Hyderabad play Delhi Capitals there, and tomorrow's match, or the day after's match, Punjab Kings. Oh, it is actually the next match. Punjab Kings will play Mumbai Indians there on the 24th, which is midnight my time. So it'll be obviously the 23rd your time, I'm assuming. And then Sunrise Hyderabad play Delhi Capitals there, and that looks like it's it for Chennai, which is probably a good thing. The pitch has been, you'd argue, fairly below par, probably not worthy of playing on. And I think that's probably a good time to move on from that ground. Then we've got obviously Eden Gardens coming into play, and Ahmedabad, which will be interesting. Missing Pretty Chris already, missing all the fun now. Don't worry, they're harsh traders who haven't been on very often, but they're on all the time. They've been on every single episode. They cannot sustain being on every episode purely because they've got lives that they've got to lead as well. But they'll be back tomorrow. Chris and Pretty will be back tomorrow. Don't worry. Well, you haven't seen Aparna yet. Now, Aparna, if I can wake her up, because she's been not well. She had the fever the last two matches. She was supposed to be on both matches, but she's got a fever, not COVID, thankfully, but it's something that has led to be having a fever. So Shreya Gayathri, that's actually that's a Sri Lankan name. Let's have a look. Where are we? You've got, that's been deleted. I didn't see that. Ahmedabad, Kolkata, Bangalore should be all high-scoring matches. You would think so. I would say for sure. MI and PBKS both coming in next game from a loss, but I expect MI to win. I think they'll have to win. I mean, the Punjab Kings are just not there, as are not Rajasthan Royals. So there's a fair bit. There was a comment there. Here. I'm Phil more spelled by Ashwin outstanding, but more try the variation for 4 overs. Okay, I think I get your point there. Okay, let's have a look. It is a tournament that's going to have its ups and downs. We haven't seen all the twists just yet. There are a fair few more twists to occur. We may see SRH start to rise. Well, the name Sunrisers implies that. Manu John, kind of do or die match for Punjab tomorrow against MI. It is. If they lose, they're in the same fate as Rajasthan Royals. They're both going to be out. They'll be too far behind the 8 ball. I really can't see those two sides figuring. They're 7 and 8 from my mind, and KKR need to get their act together, or they may well join them in the bottom 4. The only side that's got potential, perhaps, is SRH to get into the top 4. SRH have got 2. Let me say they're playing. Well, actually, Kolkata Knight Riders have got 2 easy games. They're playing Rajasthan Royals and Punjab Kings. Now, if KKR win those matches, they'll come back to the 4 and go close to being in the top 4 potentially. So that's a matter of. We also have at the same point we have the ACB, which is a Caribbean Parish League live now. And that's the Caribbean Parish League has the likes of it has we have a bit of turn this on. We have a young man, probably the youngest that would sit in. That show starts up there. That's a bit of an offshoot of my show, in a way, because Mervyn Richards is on that now. He's been a regular on my show. He's got himself involved with his own personal show there in the Caribbean Parish League, and they have a lot of great guests on there, like Viv Richards. But Viv's going to be on my show at some stage as well. So Norman, which IPL team you are cheering for, and which team has surprised you most in the IPL edition? My team, supporting wise, over the years has been KKR. I still maintain in my team that I barrack, I support, but the team that I thought would win this season is Delhi Capitals. They're not a surprise to me. They probably are a team that deserves to be there, having gone last, 3rd, 2nd, and now hopefully 1st this year. I'd say they're the best chance, one of the best chances to win. RCB, they keep the format they've got now. Yes, definitely. Mumbai Indians, you can't discount. CSK are going to figure there. They may be a smoky. So the one that surprised me most is probably CSK. I was predicting, like Chris Vernon, who's on my show, as you know, has predicted, where we're looking at CSK's so-called Dad's Army, and they probably would be more towards the bottom half of the tournament, but they're proving wrong. Their strike rate is basically the best, along with RCB, so you would have to agree that they're both, CSK certainly got a great chance of reaching the top 4. And most of SRH's losses have been capitulations, yeah. Now that they've got Williamson in the mix, it might stabilise their team, as it did last match. Certainly, Warner needed him in the squad. Exactly. How on earth did DC lose to Rajasthan Royals? I don't know. But I can tell you what, DC's bounced back from that, and they've learned from that, and they've had that aberration at a time of the season when it didn't count, which is great. But RCB is getting notorious with each part. Yeah, you're saying there that they're notoriously going to make finals and then lose finals. Yeah, that certainly is. There is a certain indication about that in the past that they've been like that. Could be different this year. But we have to have those players that look, Padikal, obviously, Coley, De Villiers, Maxwell. It's a very informed top 4 batters in their side. They have to keep it going, though. They have to keep it going. That's the most important thing. That if they don't keep it going, then they really need to have that situation happening. And I'm afraid that's where the key will be. The key will be very much as to whether they can keep this form running when it counts the most. That's the issue they've got. They've got to be able to perform at a level at a time when it needs the most. All right. RCB. I want you guys to tell me your opinion of RCB. They performed brilliantly today. None for 180 odd. But the key was not just their batting, was their bowling as well. They did keep the Rajasthan Royals to 170 odd, which to me was a pretty low score on a pitch that really deserved a better batting effort. My take on Smith on failing bug time for Rajasthan Royals. What's your think of it is the reason? I think the Rajasthan Royals have got some management issues there. They once again they've got it wrong. I mean, Sangakkara is a great guy, great player, great mentor, but I don't know if he's the best coach. And then they haven't really got a coaching role. They've got him in a sort of a half of coaching role, and they've got a director of coaching. They've got some weird titling. I don't quite know what they've done with that. But have a head coach. You've got a head coach, that's it. You don't have directors and this and that and this and that. You have a head coach which takes charge. And they make it their presence felt like Simon Kadich with RCB. Yeah, but bowling was good under circumstances. Really, the bowling was particularly good. Jamison, Harsh Patel, who's got the purple cap. You've got the likes of, there's quite a few bowlers in their lineup that are bowling very, very well. And they've got a lot of depth there. Let's just look at their side for a moment. We'll see their side. If you look at their bowling lineup, they have. Actually, I'll digress from that for a moment. I'll just give you a bit of some of the comments made by the players post-match. Devdutt Padikal was the man of the match, which I'm sure you all knew. About his 100. But I'll just read what Virat Kohli had to say post-match. It was an outstanding innings. That is about Padikal. He batted really well for his first season. Last time as well. Bit of a talk about accelerating around 40 or 50. This was the best way to put it to rest. Great talent. Great one to look forward to in the future. That's a key point in the future. He doesn't necessarily mean he's in the team now. I had the best seat in the house to watch. I think the T20 tournament is all about partnership batting. You can't always be the guy going dominant. Hence why Kohli took a slight backseat. When one guy goes, it's important for me to rotate strike and vice versa. Tonight my role was different. I wanted to hang in there. And then I picked up my spots. The pitch was good. So it is really, a great effort from Kohli to take a slight step back. Rajiv Sharma has joined us. Let's have a look what he has to say. Rajasthan Royals were handicapped the moment Archer was out. Agree. Wills further came off when Stokes returned and didn't last. Agree. And looking tougher than that this season. Agree totally. Great comments. Also, Margie John has said, but Samson got more mountains from here to go with the bare minimum. Yeah, look, Samson scored 100 magnificently first match in a losing side, which would have been a bit demoralising. He's slightly sliding down from there, and that's the danger of peaking early. And as captain, I think as his batting performance drops, his team's performance is dropping as well. Himanshu Singh, so what do you think if you have to choose to giving runs 10, 12 on over and taking 3 or 4 best wickets and 80% without a wicket. You need wickets. I don't really concern myself with runs per over as a bowler. You need to take wickets because wickets wins matches. Runs can slightly leak, but generally you may need to bowl the other end who is more economical, allowing you to bowl freely and take the wickets. Milan, you're here every night, which is great. Hello, guys. I wrote yesterday in the chat that somebody will score a century today. I wish it had been from Sansom or Kohli, but Padikkal deserved it too, the way he was playing. Exactly. Well said. Harshit traders. Even KKR is a balanced side. The Caribbean runs, guns failed to fire until last game, except for Andre Russell. What do you think? Why KK lost 3 games and won just one? Your analysis, sir, from that. KKR are coached by Brendan McCullum. Brendan McCullum is a very aggressive, risk-taking coach, whereas Owen Morgan is more conservative, more tactical, and not so risk-taking. Those two clash in their thoughts. I think very, very clearly they clash. But most importantly, Owen Morgan himself is not firing. He's not scoring runs. And when a captain doesn't score runs, the team, if they're a batting captain, which they mostly are, they lose. Look at the record. Samson, except for one match, they've lost most of the games, and he hasn't batted well. Kohli's batted well, the team's won. Robert Sharma's batted admirably, his team's won. Warner played badly when his team certainly didn't score. Last match, he was admirable in his batting performance, and his team won. Those captains need to stand up. Who else have we got? Kale Rahul's been very slow. He didn't bat badly at Agarwal, though, but his team's losing. There's a fair degree of comment. There's CSK now. We've got Dhoni as captain. He did bat well, but his whole team batted well. His whole team got involved. Moeen Ali at first shot, great selection. England would have put him there, but they need to think about that now. RCB is not like the old RCB. You would argue with the inclusion of Simon Kaddish, Mike Hesson, and Dan Christian, all winners in their own right. That's where the changes are made, and you've got the talent there already. It wasn't a talent-based decision. Yeah, there's an RCB difference. I think Kohli's listening to his fellow, leadership group. And that's why it's the case. Pat Cummins needs to live with the ball. You can see they're concerned with the changes they keep making. Yes, teams that constantly change their makeup are searching for an alternate makeup or lineup, and that's probably where the problem starts and finishes. You keep chopping and changing, you'll keep losing. As simple as that. There's no much doubt that will always be the case. And, I think that's where we've got to be wary of the whole makeup of the teams, that we really have a situation where, it's funny, the thumbnail that I've got for there has actually not worked in both games. I may have to go about changing that thumbnail. Let's have a bit of a look at that. The live thumbnail, see if we can change it. It's funny how thumbnails actually do some damage to your day. Let's have a look here. Look at the details. That's a good thumbnail, though, but we may have to change it. We'll have a look at it. I actually think a lot of the RCB's bowling, that was very significant today. I think their bowling lineup has shown to me that they are going to have that all-roundedness. They've added Jamison into the play. Harsh Patel, fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. Very commendable playing from Harsh Patel. It is freezing here in Sydney. It is absolutely freezing. I'm just going to check the temperature. I want to know what the temperature is. Let's have a look here. It's 5 degrees in Barrow. It's about an hour away. 5 degrees. Ew, that's not much fun. That temperature is the Gold Coast, which is in Queensland. It's not showing me that yet, but it's some temperature. It's 12 degrees now. If the Gold Coast is 12 degrees, we're in trouble. Let's have a look. I'm trying to find. Tahiti is 23. I want to go to Tahiti. Colombo is 29. And Isolate shall. Let me have a look. I'm just trying to find. New York's 8 degrees. So we're almost as cold as New York. That's all right. Okay. Let's have a look at the question here from. Okay. So, Rajiv Sharma has said RR, SH, and PK look almost done for the season. You'd have to say PK and RR definitely. SH, depending on how they go. Only SH, as you said, out of these three have a chance to make it. The players, and even they have a pathetic middle order. My top four would be DC, RCB, capital CSK, am I too early? No, you're on my wavelength. To me, that's the top four. The only possibility, maybe SRH, maybe KKR, but that's the top four. I'd say pretty certainly. Someone called Sachin is talking about his, maybe we enjoy by Sachin Tendulkar, I don't know. Arjun Tendulkar is trained under Was Makram, Zaire Khan and Brett Lee in Australia. 135 speeds, Yorker bounce swing, and he should play. Well, I've actually come across, I've had a good chat with Arjun Tendulkar on a few occasions. He was here in Australia 2 seasons back playing for the Cricket Club of India, CCI. They toured. They played in the tournament. He played on Coogee Oval. I was there for that. I was involved. He went to dinner with him many occasions. He is a lovely, well-educated, well-adjusted young man. Certainly bats well too, by the way. Not just his bowling, his batting very well. He deserves at least a game. Why not? Why wouldn't you give him a chance? Nothing harming that. I never thought teams would play catch up to RCB on the points table. Well, Mama John, that's exactly what's happening. Which player impressed you the most in the IPL? Any Indian or any foreign player? Someone who played out of his skin. Harsh Patel, Chahar on his bowling. The 2 bowlers that played very well. The batting wise, well, Padikkal was certainly impressed today, especially. Vora should be dropped next match. Natarajan Visa. Let's have a comment. Vora should be dropped next match. Well, yeah, but who did he put in? That's the question. I'd rather like this comment because I think I need to do this. Once I move my car, guys, before the next half an hour, remind me to move my car. Please remind me. If I was you, I would tuck myself in bed and go to hibernation. I would agree with that. I would love to be there right now, actually. I think that would be my go. Keep the fans' comments, guys. I need to get more comments from you. We need to have this it's a very intimate session tonight. It's between you and me. You as spectators and me as the host. Let's go for it. Let's have questions. Okay. Didn't know it's Rajiv Sharma, who's a member of my platform. You notice he has a certain asterisk next to his name. He's actually a member. Got subscribers, they're members. Didn't know Australia had low temperatures. Well, it shouldn't be this low at this time of the year. It should creep into June, July, August, more so July and August. So a little bit early, a bit of a cold snap, we call it. There was a lot of, I like your way of expressing Samaresh, there was a lot of flack from the fans when he was picked up by MI. Not sure MI will take the risk of feeling him yet, just yet. Now, who are we talking about? Arjun Tendulkar. Well, yeah, I think the flack's unwarranted. He's a damn good player. He's not just the son of Arjun of Sachin Tendulkar at all. I mean, look, we've got the head of the Australian Cricket Board, or Cricket Australia, our cricket board. At the time was James Sutherland. His son, Will Sutherland, and his daughter, I think it's Annabelle Sutherland. They both play for Australia. Well, at least Will Sutherland played for the under-19s, playing BBL. He's certainly got a bit of favouritism. In fact, that's a bit unusual that your son and daughter are both playing for the country in some way. Either you're an incredibly good coach or incredibly good genes, or there's some nepotism there for sure. But no, I think Arjun Tendulkar is doing everything on his own 2 feet. Trust me, he's a great young player. Arjun Tendulkar is a very good player. I've seen him in the flesh, bat and bowl, and his manner, his humbleness. He's a very humble guy. Extremely tall. I don't know where the height came from. He certainly didn't get it for his mother and father, but he's very tall. He's well over 6 foot, 6'3" or something, 4 maybe. I'm not sure. He's very, very tall. Very tall indeed. You realise, guys, that if I'm on the show every night, which I am, and it's my show, of course, I have to be on. I can't not be on. I'm going to have Anisha Tucker more and more hosting. You've seen her. Apart starting when she's feeling better. Obviously, the likes of our friends, both Chris Vernon and Priti Upala, when they get a chance. The reality is that they are both on the show, and I think, they'll be a part of the show. There was some talk about Upala coming late, which should have happened. Priti says she'll put something on her show. She hasn't done it yet, so we'll wait and see. let's have a fan call, please, guys. Be active. Let's grow the channel. Great. I appreciate that. So, Norman, one of the questions which still bugs a lot of Englishmen was the Chennai pitch really below par. Can England really blame the Chennai pitch for the defeat, as quoted by Michael Vaughan? No, they cannot. Both teams are playing on the same surface. Unless England play on the Chennai pitch and India go and play at Mumbai, it can't be against one side. That's rubbish. If they know it's going to be a spinning wicket, then learn to bat accordingly. Look at the likes of an AB de Villiers today or the other day. Certainly deserves his recognition. I appreciate this. This Rajiv Sharma and Himanshu and the like, the whole concept of some subscribers, the percentages are, I think it's around 10% of people that view the channel subscribe. So that means 9 out of 10 people are watching, and some people, most of those, I think, are 40,000, sometimes many as 100,000 people viewing on a regular, almost daily basis. Now, if you're doing that, just hit the subscribe button, and if you wish, the notifications button, and then you have regular updates from me. You don't have to go looking, because you are already doing that. So why not hit the subscribe button? It doesn't cost you a cent. I'm not going to chase you, but then that reflection of 10,000 or 13,000 I've got now will become 130,000, which is probably truer to the number who actually do watch. Not what's going on with Victoria, mate. I mean, Victoria, in terms of Arjun Singh doing invite some celebrities for Victoria. Well, we can, absolutely. But it's 5 o'clock in the morning. Not easy to get people, anyone to be up at that time. When the time zones are better, I'm going to get more and more people on. And I've had a lot of people on. Debash Sen can't be here today because his computer's not working. A partner is sick. Pretty's on almost every night with Chris Vernon. They have to have a break occasionally and do their own lives. So I think that invite some celebrities. Well, I've got a plan of having Steve Waugh on. So we've had Monty Panesar a couple of nights ago. What are you talking about? He's a superstar. And Anisha Tucker, what a great person she is. Yesterday we were being recommended to people by YouTube when live. Saw a few comments saying that it helps when people hit like consistently. Yes, it does. The like button is there. You view, you like, and you share. You've all got WhatsApp groups. Just simply get the link and attach it. Guys, why don't you have a look at this? And have people look at it and log in and subscribe. It's a bit of a pain logging in, I know, but once you've done it, you need to do it. Retired superstar, who's that, me? Retired superstar, I'm not a retired superstar. But yeah, but don't worry, I've had them already. If you've been watching the show, you will see that I've had Monty Panesar, I've had the likes of Alan Mullally on the show recently, Debash Sen, Chris Vernon, Aparna Saini, obviously Pretty Parler. We've got a lot of people. Don't worry, they're here, and it's not about personalities and guests. It's about your interaction with me and to ask me questions. Believe me, sir, I have a fair conversation. IPL is fun. People are looking for it. We will grow the channel for sure, and I appreciate that. I think the reason for low subscribers count is because of less people are live because of the difference in time. Yeah, exactly. That's partly true. CSK would have to put up a monster show to beat RCB. Yeah, it's interesting because RCB and CSK, they're seen as CSK is a nemesis of RCB in previous years. This year, I don't know. It's really heartbreaking. Okay, there's nothing heartbreaking. It's not a problem, guys. Things are going really well. I've got 13,000 subscribers in a very short space of time. A lot of channels don't get that for a year or two. So I'm pretty happy. Don't worry, it's going to grow. I'm very satisfied. I want to keep my fans happy, and I'm trying to do my best. We're going to get a lot more fan interaction. I'm going to be on the streets talking to the people, fans. I don't know. I know people love that. Some of those videos gets almost 1 million views. And obviously the other thing is newspaper talk. I love talking about the newspaper conversation. Not a lot in the newspapers these days. Of course, IPL there is, but otherwise not. People go for bland broadcasts like cricket podcasts or just original business stats. I agree. I don't want to sit here and go 9.33 recurring and in 1972 this person. We can talk about that. And a lot of people, there's a few people that come on from different fan supporter groups. And I think they come on, I've got to tell you 100 facts, otherwise I don't look good. I've got to talk about this. I've got to mention all the stats I can mention and bombard you with stats. Rubbish. You don't need to bombard with stats. You need to get a feeling of a game, a sense of the game, understand what's going on. I did just think, oh, thank you very much. You kept the good work. Ashok Turner it's a cricket broadcast, and I like the intimacy of talking to someone like me because, not that I'm a champion, but we can talk real cricket here. I've made a comment time and time again about the various platforms, and they've got huge followings, deservedly so, of the various teams' personal social media. Insightful discussions with the players, backroom discussions, hearing the mentors talk. They're all absolutely wonderful. But I've made it really clear, this should be a video, and I'm going to work with Sri Harsha and Extra Time to get a video together of the bunkers, what I call bunkers, the actual bunker where the players play and they get together, sit, watch the game from. That's an area which you'll see that you see true body language. You see the discussions. You see Steve Smith close to Ricky Ponting having a private chat. You see David Warner on his own. And over the distance, you see the likes of Williamson talking to Bairstow about things rather privately. Pretty Opala's not here today. She can't be here every day, guys. Don't worry, she'll be here again very shortly. I just need your comments, guys. We need your comments. Your comments are the backbone of this channel. We need your interaction, okay? So Pretty Opala will be here. Go message Pretty Opala and demand her to come here. She'll come. But she can't be. Pretty and I this morning, actually, still on the same day, we had a 2.5 hour discussion on the previous game. If you go look at the videos, you'll see we're together for 2.5 overs. Yes, I've got a reminder about 5 minutes over. Yeah, I've got to be careful. I'm going to go out and get my car moved. Would you like to come out for a walk with me? Get out in the car? We should do that. There's a fair bit of discussion here. Great to have comments. We need you here every day, Norman, just like you need our comments. And I'm here, guys. I think it's important. We need to analyze the games, not just from a positive perspective. Let's go through the teams negatively for a minute, not to be nasty. The previous broadcast was brilliant. It was a extravaganza. What's Alan Mullally doing these days? He was on my show 2 days ago. Alan Mullally he's in retirement mode. Of course, he's over 60, and he's going to start up. We're actually going to have a show together called Normally, as a Norman, and Ali, Mullally. Normally, we're setting up a program. We're going to have a lot of guests on there as well. Steve Ward will be on our show. So get my car moved. Thanks for the shock, darling. I'm going to go out in a minute. Thanks for telling me. We'll have to go out in a minute. Put my shoes on. You want to come with me? I'll do that in a minute. A little bit early. I've got another 15 minutes or so. Keep reminding me, though, please, a shock. Please do that. I want you to. Unfortunately, Rajasthan Royals only got 1 day to prepare for KKR match. Unfair. Well, Manju and John, I think they're all in the same boat. They're very short turnarounds all round, actually. Yeah, I should tell you, what's it been to take a big walk? Debash is sorry to say he doesn't look very happy, Norman. Well, Debash is working around the clock. He's an amazing guy. He's very happy. He and I are great friends. I've known him for 15 years. A lovely man. He has, well, his problems, he'll be on right now, but his internet is down. He wasn't a part of the extra time broadcast at all, even in the making of it, because his internet is down. He's at home, internet's down. Tomorrow he'll fix it. He'll be back on deck, so don't worry, guys. See, I could have easily aborted today, not having anyone else with me at the moment, but I'm not going to do that. Do you think Rajasthan Royals should drop Anand Vohra and pick Yashish Jajwal? Yes. Yeah, I think it's time to bring him in. I would agree with that. What's your opinion of Livingston leaving due to the bubble fatigue? It's sad. It must have been quite severe because Liam Livingston desperately wanted to play the IPL. Desperately wanted to. And not only for the money, but for the whole approach. Husted Traders, it's Norman Alley. It's Norman Alley we're putting it. So that's what we're going to be putting. What was the time in Australia? The time in Australia is, you ready for this? It's 5:29 in the morning. So in India, it's fast approaching 1 a.m. Well, it's 5:29 a.m. here. The sun will be up in a minute. Yeah, I would agree. He's happy. He's just more tired than over time. He is. He's working every day and he doesn't get paid as well as he should either. You think Deepak Huda, Padikkal, Chahar, Harsh Patel, should they be included in the India team? Well, that's a great question, Rajiv Sharma. That's a great question. I would argue that, boy, Deepak Huda, not quite yet. Chahar, absolutely. Harsh Patel, very close. And Padikkal will be a long-term player for a long while, but not just yet. It needs a few of the top players to go before he gets a chance. He's behind Ishaq Hashan and Kumar and a few others. He can bowl a bit of spin too. Maybe he can, but he's just not ready yet. He certainly may appear to be ready, but he'll be ready. Himanshu Singh wants to be on this telecast. Well, if you send me your email again, I think you may have sent it before. Himanshu, send it again. It's hard to watch cricket after midnight when India play. Australia games start around midnight in the UK. Well, you can imagine what it's like for me. At the moment, it's difficult, but I'm not going to waver. What would you be in India to witness T20 World Cup? What's your plans? I will be there in a heartbeat, but there are only two things stopping me. Obviously, the allowability, or me being allowed to travel from Australia and being allowed to enter India is an issue, and my ability to get out of India as well because of the COVID protocols. That's one major issue. But the other major issue is the health of my mother. Being 90 years, almost 90 years of age, I would be devastated if I went to India and then a week later she passed away and I couldn't get back in time for her funeral. Can you imagine? I go to India, all well and good, which I want to do, absolutely. I'm sitting in India, my mother passes away, and I can't get a flight for a month or 2 months. That means the whole process of her funeral is left to, I don't know who, because I'm the only one here. It would be devastating. It would be a mess, and I'd be distraught. I couldn't do that to my own mother, so that's another reason why I can't come at the moment. Do you see any weaknesses of exploiting the RCB? It's going to be their batting lineup on the day. They've got an incredible batting lineup. But if a few of them fail, that leaves some vulnerability, like any side. Mumbai's have got a slight middle order vulnerability at the moment, so that's a worry as well. It's a very big interest. Should be playing in place of. Who should be playing in the place of Navdeep Sami? Should replace Kane Richardson, maybe, but Kane Richardson did well. He's one of the bowlers that actually bowls well in Indian conditions and knows the Indian conditions, has played a few seasons in India. Whereas Jai Richardson and Space Cadet Meredith, they've played zero and they're playing now. They're getting their experience, but they can't be afforded on the side. They're full tosses, wides. That's not good bowling. It's unacceptable. It's park cricket bowling, and they need to be given a break to really understand where they're at, because at the moment they're not there. They're not there. Owen Morgan's also not doing well, Manager. You're right. Owen Morgan has not performed with a bat for the entire series, and before that for England as well. He's in deep trouble. He needs to score runs. He needs to clear his head and bat well, because his captaincy's suffering because of his lack of batting, and the team dynamics is not there. And more so, Brendan McCullum, despite being a very good leader and pretty good coach, nothing is working for KKR. Exactly. That's exactly right. That is the problem. KKR are going to struggle. I think they could join the bottom two to be the bottom three. The only realistic SRH, well, let's see if they can continue. Williamson's the key. Back in the side now, could help a lot. Why try to fix something that ain't broken? I agree. RCB are going, well, let's not tinker with it. I agree. Don't tinker. They made a change today with Richardson, yes. The only player that I think needs to be in the lineup, and he will be, for sure, is Dan Christian. He's the player that will be in the side. Amarish thinks that KKR's batting is fine, bowling is a concern. Well, the batting is a concern too, I'm afraid. I lost my mother. Harsh, this is a nice comment. That's probably sums up my situation, Harsh. I think I couldn't imagine being in India if my mother passes away. That's the only reason. If she's fit and healthy, I'm going. I'm going to be in India. Mohammad Siraj, long-term for India, Mohammad Siraj will lead in the bowling attack for years to come, along with the likes of, we've got obviously an amazing Delhi Capitals captain, haven't we? We all know who he is. His keeping's improved as well, but Rishabh Pant is a leader, so is Mohammad Siraj. There's a whole heap of them coming through. Absolutely spot on. RCB bought Dan Christian for the luck that he brings. One times from almost all over the world he's playing. It's not just the luck. He is a very clever man. He's basically becoming an assistant to the captaincy, the coaching of the team. He knows how to instill confidence in the bowlers and the batters, and takes a great catch. Last match he was 12th man, but he came on and took a bottler of a catch. With Morgan, it's a lot of comments about Morgan as captain. When he worked with it, Owen Morgan, will he leave midway for the season? If KKR keep losing, KKR got two very easy, relatively easy games. They've got Punjab Kings and they've got Rajasthan Royals. They can make a bit of hay with that situation. How are we going time wise? I'm going to go out very shortly. And I think Morgan's poor performance has actually been hampered by his captaincy. Well, he's a good captain normally. Normally he's a good captain. Things aren't going right for him. Yeah, so Rajiv Sharma says that, yes, at his age now, he's playing a similar role to Brad Hodge was playing in the IPL a few years back. Exactly. I don't think they're also made of money. You're talking about Dan Christian. Yeah, look, Dan Christian is not only a champion player, he's a champion man, and he's a great man manager, and Kohli looks up to him. You can see, I keep telling you, keep watching. Kohli looks to Dan Christian and then high fives him and says, you're right. There's a lot of you're right going on, which means something that Dan Christian is resonating. Something that Dan Christian is saying is resonating. Okay. Do I think that RCB will win their first title? This is the year they've got to really put their chances to bed and actually win it. It is a very frustrating situation to watch a team that's that good not winning the tournament. They certainly make the playoffs. We can see that, but they're not making their fist of the actual tournament win, and that's what they've got to do. It's no point in playing well now if you don't play well at the end of the season. So we really need to, see them step up. I'm just checking, guys, the time because I've got to be wary of me walking out there. You know what my problem is. Do you want me to come out? Do you want to come out with me, guys? We've almost gone 50-odd minutes today, so I'm going to probably cut about the hour mark, guys, because I think, we've had a fairly good hit out. We've done very well today. The game was, I wouldn't say it was a fizzer. I mean, the likes of Kohli and Padakal did so well. It was amazing. Let's have a look here with some more comments. MI is currently not in good shape, but they will still surely come out guns blazing to take on Punjab. Yeah, I agree. Pramod Srinath, I had this question on mind for a while. What drives you to follow Indian cricket? As an Indo-German background, I'm very pleased to see your honest and sincere efforts to making this show. I'm a cricket lover, number one. I'm an unbiased person, number two. I have been involved with the subcontinent for more than 20 years, in particular Sri Lanka, because my ex-wife was Sri Lankan. I have a love for the subcontinent for a lot of reasons. I manage 20 female cricketers. The majority are from the subcontinent. A lot from Sri Lanka, some from India, a number from Bangladesh, girls from the UAE, the captain of Malaysia, Winnie from Jerusalem. Winnie, if you go back through my videos, guys, you'll see Winnie on my program, Shapali on my program. They're all a part of my network of cricketers. The South African contingent as well, with the likes of Shabnam Ismail. There's a lot of players I'm involved with, so that's my love of subcontinent cricket. I was very close to the likes of Roshan Dikwella, Dinesh Chandimal, Sarah Pereira. I know all these guys really, really well. I took 16 years in a row of cricket tours, 16 years in a row of cricket tours to Sri Lanka and to the West Indies, and went myself to Lords in England, went to India as well on tours. I have a love for the subcontinent, and India is certainly up there. And I'm not pandering to the Indian audience at all, but I love the Indian audience. I've got some 70% that are from there, 15% from America, and the rest of the world. So I'm a person who just loves cricket. I have a great fan base. I have a great camaraderie with a lot of ex-cricketers and current cricketers, and especially women's cricketers as well. RCB is in third gear at the moment. I like that. Needs to go to fourth gear in the final throttle. Whose captains impressed you most? Kane Willis and Virat Kohli, both playing in the 19 Cricket World Cup. They're both good. Both of them are good. Williamson's been fantastic for New Zealand and Kohli for England. India, simple. What would your message be to Punjab to turn it around? Not bowl Riley Meredith and Richardson again. Concentrate on players like Moses on Rex. Get good all-rounders, get good people, get people with winning ways who are experienced, not underdogs, not underperformers. The reality is that Punjab's, they're going to have to win the next game, aren't they? But, gee, I can't see them winning many games, to be honest. I really, really can't. Really can't see them winning many games. It's going to be quite disturbing for them. It's very, very frustrating indeed. It's one of those situations you wouldn't want to be in for a team that to have so many players that are just not performing or not up to it. Stop buying players over their price. You never, ever have a player paid overs of their value to play well. Chris Morris, great example. Played once well, but that's not enough. Richardson, Meredith, oh my God, don't start me on that. Do I think Devdutt Padikal can play for India? Of course. Of course he can play. He will be. And I think, again, I love you, Ashok Turner. You're reminding me. I've got another 5 minutes or so before I need to move. I've got to move before 6 a.m. It's now 5:41. So keep reminding me, Ashok. I really like that. Yeah, look, Padikal's definitely coming in. Thoughts on Kumble though, when Kohli wanted him out of the Indian team a couple of years ago. Kumble, as in coaching-wise, yeah, I don't know. He's not a bad person, but maybe he's not the right mix. Ravi Shastri, brilliant. PK should open with Main and Gale, and Royal should drop down to number 3. Gale is best used as an opener. I like your comments, Rajiv. I totally agree. Rahul's steady, but he's been very slow. If Gale and Main go berserk, which look Rahul did with Main last innings, they need to go, and you need to have Rahul in the order to stabilise. Yes, like Williamson play. Yes. If Punjab Kings have got any hope, they're going to do that now. Now he's tinkering with the team too much. No, Rahul should bat low on the order. He's also wicket keeping, isn't he? So keepers. I mean, I know that de Kock's in the side for his team. I would like to see Chris Lynn play and not Quinton de Kock. That's my tip. I love to see him play. I think he's a match winner. Yahia Mohammed. Yahia Mohammed. I've said your name. Let me put you on the screen for a second. There you go. Certainly is good. It's a great tournament, guys. A little bit too long. They're bringing in a 9th side, potentially a Gujarat/Ahmedabad next season. There may be a Pune as a 10th. There's some word that only 9 teams will be there, not 10. It'll just add an extra headache to the actual timetables, won't it? But you don't want to extend it any further. They're going to need to play a lot more double headers, I think. This is a great comment. I think Puran's got to go, although he still plays well, but Darwin Milan is absolutely needed in that side. Maybe Gale needs to open with Manyak and have Milan at first drop, Rahul down the order. Now we're talking. Now we've got a team that might have a chance. Goodbye, Harshit Traders. You've said goodbye last time you were here. Just on the hour, I appreciate your attendance greatly. We seem to pick up viewers about this time. Around about the 6 o'clock mark, we pick up viewers, so we'll need to be wary of getting them on. So just looking at the breakup of the day. Bear with me a second, guys. Yeah, we certainly have a lot of people online. We've got a very substantial following. I've always rooted. Hang on, I've got some comments here. So good night to Harshit Traders for sure. So I've always rooted for my home city of Delhi Capitals. That's what I'm doing. That's right. I'm going for Delhi Capitals today, as in not today, as in to win the tournament. Still, I think they will. fan favourite is RCB and underdogs are Punjab to win the IPL all these years. All have disappointed so far. We need a new champion this time. We do need a new champion. If Mumbai Indians don't make it, which they're certainly there, but they're not flying at the moment. But we'll see. I think you'll find that RCB and Delhi Capitals are the two favoured teams to win. CSK, they've got a long history of winning, haven't they? So you can't discount them. So let's have a look here. So much is wrong with Punjab calling on fielding, batting, bowling order, batting order. They're all cast. I agree. I think playing without noise is making a psychological difference to bottom teams. Well, it should be all the teams, actually, not just bottom teams. Biggest match of the IPL will be CSK versus RCB and Mahi versus Kohli. Yes, agree with that. Where's the talent pool for the 9th and 10th teams? Already R and PK are struggling put together. Yeah, well, more and more domestic players that are certainly up there. You've got a lot of domestic players that can certainly step up. That's where you start and finish. Pawan Kumar saying I'm a gem. Thank you very much. Padikkal coming good was inevitable. He was incredible domestic. He has potential to dominate. He does, and he will. But let's not push him too hard. Let him continue playing well for a while. Biggest match of the IPL with CSK, I mentioned that before. CSK versus RCB. That's becoming a pivotal match. I would have thought CSK versus RCB is a pivotal match. I would have thought that Mumbai Indians versus Delhi Capitals would be the pivotal match as well. But maybe that Mumbai Indians are not quite there. Delhi Capitals did a bit of a number on them last game. This is Rajiv Sharma's coming out with some absolutely brilliant comments today. Amresh, the talent pool isn't an issue. There's enough, especially for domestic. Correct. The problem will be the tournament length. Look, the tournament's already too long. 60 days, 60 games, 60 days is a lot. Don't want IPL taking over the international calendar. Well, it won't, but it's got to stop. If it's going to grow, then have to mix those games more together in one day, more double headers. Another RR loss. I think they will be losing more games. Devdutt Padikkal is playing shorts just like Yuvraj Singh. That's interesting. I didn't observe that totally. It's quite interesting. How are we going time-wise? 5:47, guys. I'll be moving in a minute. Do you want to come with me? Do you want me to move the phone and take myself out there? I haven't got any shoes on. I need some shoes on as well, so bear with me with that. We've gone already an hour and 2 minutes, guys. We've done a pretty good job. For today's game, who are the favourites you love from today's game? Oh, look, Kohli, absolutely. Pity they didn't see Avi de Villiers and Maxwell. Padikkal, I'm very impressed with him as well. Now, this is a comment that I want people to comment on. IPL should be 2 groups, 1 for 5 each. They can qualify matches. That's possibly going to happen. RR's missing Stokes, yes. MS Dhoni's compared 100 before all cricketers. MS Dhoni's a legend, we know that. But he needs to finish on top. So if CSK are to make the finals, and let's say they even won, that should be the crescendo for MS Dhoni to retire. Not because I want him out, but he needs to consider that stage of his life. He'll be coaching, mentoring, owning probably sides in the future. Yes, that has. Let's go back. Okay. It's great to have this forum where we can. It's great to have this. It's great to have this forum. Maybe I've got a battery issue. I better be careful there, guys. Yeah, I'll make sure I don't have a battery issue. I'll just plug her in. Okay. It's great to have this forum where we can have a live discussion. This quality over quantity. I am an average cricket fan. So good discussed here, just like the others channels. Okay, I agree. Thank you. What are your thoughts on having a best of 3 final? Nah, don't agree with that one. Yeah, KKR, DC, Smithy versus Cummins. Yeah, there's an element of liking, but that'll be an interesting struggle for sure. But KKR aren't really in form. Burren Jar, okay. Ben Stokes would be there, so they would have scored 30 in the pitch. Maybe. certainly if Stokes was informed, they would have. Stokes, Joffrey Archer, Butler would have been a great opening pair for sure. Okay, good on you. So have a great day, Rajiv Sharma. Thank you for your comments. Been great. Do you think the increasing number of the no ball due to TV umpire decision or no ball? No, not really. It's just it's unfortunately a blight on the game. No balls. No bowlers should be bowling any no balls. For God's sake, mark your run out properly. Stick to it. It's inexcusable to bowl no ball. You know when your right foot, if you're a right-hand bowler, you know when your right foot's close to the line, you're about to go no ball. Stop. Don't bowl. Simple. It's funny. Once we start reaching 6 o'clock, people start arriving. So I'm not sure where they're all coming from, but people start joining us, which is great. All right, I'm going to just see where we are at with that. All right, guys, I've got to get ready to go outside and move my car. Happened yesterday too. It's rather, you get to see a bit of the streetscape of Sydney. Could you with me? Who will start favourites between CSK and RCB match? Great question. They're both in form at the moment. RCB. But CSK win that match is going to put the cat amongst the pigeons pretty quickly. Who will win this year's IPL? I've maintained Delhi Capitals. Delhi Capitals. I still think they will win. The momentum's going to shift to a point where they win towards the end. That's a Ricky Ponting special. When do I sleep, Norman? Very soon. What's your best partnership? Rahul and Mark were fantastic. Yes, they were. They were great. Just not sure the Rahul was better off being down the order. Milan in the batting order, Puran out, and Gale in. That's a great combination. Agarwal, Gale, followed by first dropper like, say, Milan, and then Rahul down the order. That's my team. It's 5:51. Thank you. Manu, John, thank you very much. I'm going to start moving out, so we're going to make sure we don't miss out on the opportunity to have... do you want me to go, guys? Tell me, do you want me to keep going? Tell me, I want to know. Do you want me to keep going? Do you want me to keep talking? We've got a lot of people online. Do you think Jadeja is the best fielder ever? Yes, I think he's close to the best fielder ever. Johnny Rhodes is probably one that would match him. Mark Waugh wasn't too bad at all, nor was Andrew Simons. He was also very good. Do you think cricket can benefit from the turmoil in football going on right now? Great question. Great question. Yes. I don't want to be happy about it, but yes. There'll be a lot of disillusioned supporters of those teams, which will turn to cricket. If cricket's on, yes. Yes, yes, yes. Still probably a lot. Well, let's go and have a look. Let's go outside and move my car. Huh? You want to come with me, guys? All right. Give me 2 seconds, and I'll just go out there. I need to get my keys. I need to get my shoes. In fact, I'm going to take my shoes off, I think. Let's move the car, shall we? You ready to come with me, guys? You want to come with me? All right, we're going to go walk about. All right. I'm going to leave my place here in Sydney, and we'll go to move my car. Okay. Just moving the car. Moving the car. I'm moving the car.
Because they.
Yeah. The car. I'm moving the car. It's darkness, guys. This is a bit of a... It's still dark here, isn't it? Something to say it wasn't so dark. Let's have a look here. This is quite an interesting little effort here. I'm going to go for a walk, guys, so just bear with me. Move my car. If I don't move my car, we're in trouble. Let's see, we're going to move the car. So you can see the sun's starting to come up. I'm going to take my socks off. See that? We're in some interesting darkness. Here, guys. We've got joggers behind me there. My car. We're in Sydney, Australia, and we're crossing the road. It's very quiet. You can see the sun come out. We could even go for a bit of a drive, guys. Do you want to go to the beach?
we could go to see Sydney. It's freezing. It is freezing out here. It is absolutely freezing. Absolutely freezing. Bear with me, guys. How many live broadcasts do you get from a car? How many live broadcasts do you get from a car? Somebody having to move his car. I was quickly trying and show you where I am. It's pretty hard to sell, but I'm in an area where I'm in a bus stop area. My parking spot was taken, so I had to move my car. Just bear with me, guys. We might get a bit of music going on here. Let me just try and put the phone. Can we get that phone? Let's see. I'll get the phone going on while I drive. There we are. So I'll be moving the car for a minute, guys. Just give me a second. This is fun. How many live reports have you ever seen from a car? People getting in a car. You rarely see this. Chennai pitch is 150 pitch. Yes, it's a lesser for sure. Okay, let's move the car. We'll get ourselves out of here. It is absolutely freezing, guys. Absolutely freezing. One of the most disgraceful temperatures you've ever seen. Whew. Well, no, it's not. It's not that bad. It's going to find a parking spot which is a bit more doable here. Let's see. Of course, no one's moved their car at 6 o'clock in the morning. Nobody's moved their car, so I've got to go for a bit of a drive here, guys. Let's just see if I can find a spot. Hang on. Got to be careful because if the police see me doing this, I can't be holding cameras while driving, can I? Let's have a little bit of a look. In fact, here's a spot right here. We may just go this far. We may go no further than here, I think. I can move my car into a better spot. You can see a lovely tree line. I'll just give you a bit of a... Hang on, guys. Just give me a minute. Well, with you in a sec, guys. Very impressed that you're all staying online. Very impressed. All right. We're now parked. There we are. We're parked now, guys. Got my socks. All right. We're going to get back out of the car. Here we are. You get a bit of indication where we are. Let's set the lights on. There we are. Have a look at my backdrop, guys. This is Sydney, Australia, waking up. You can see the sunlight there. This is morning sunrise here in Australia. Okay, I'll try and give you a bit of an indication where I am. Can you see there's a backdrop with a street there? This is Coogee. Making sure my car is locked. Lovely old trees. Look at the old trees here. Can you see the old? No, you probably can't see. It's not light enough, but it's a certain amount of light here, so you can see where I'm heading. See the big old trees? Quite impressive. Lovely old trees behind me there. Can you see them? Lovely old trees. It's on the streets of Sydney. My car's up. The sun's gradually coming up, guys. It's a lovely morning. Streets of Sydney here. I'm just making my way back. This is an amazing episode, isn't it? To have me walking around. It happened yesterday as well. You hear birds in the background. Lovely backdrop that we can see here. You can see, I'll just quickly tell. Oh, you can see in the background, you can see the sunrise there between the buildings. It's a lovely day. So I'm going to make my way back home. Just walking around the streets here. Sydney, it's quite a nice day. Okay, so back to the cricket. We'll be talking cricket very soon. Now that I've reparked the car, just have to get back in to home.
A bit dark, if not, guys. All right. Just have to. We return. There we are. Good on you guys. You've stayed. How many people go and walk around like that? Not many people do. In fact, we should do that. We should actually do that more often. I should actually take you to the beach one day, which I've done before. If you watch my reports, I've been to the beach quite a few times. Now, if you notice, Sydney, Australia has been, my God, since I last did the message, let's have a look at some of these messages. Do you think CSK is like an Australian team? What do you mean by that, Chetan? You need to tell us what you mean by that. It's an interesting comment. I mean, it's I've actually got the Australian papers here too. I should be able to show you that as well. Oh God. There we go. I'm back. Some Australian papers I've got here. Typically, the Australian papers. You see that paper down there? You remember my favourite? Okay, the first person to write down a comment here will win a prize. Who is my favourite rugby league team? Who do I support in rugby league? That's the sport we play in Australia, rugby league, like rugby. Who is my favourite rugby league team? Quickly tell me. I gave you, if you saw the newspaper a second ago, we will actually, that's a very good point. I like that. Okay, he's got it on the bang. You win a prize. The Rabbitohs. That's my team there, Rabbitohs, on the front page with Rita Ora, who's a famous singer. And there's some South Sydney players. There's Alex Johnson, who I've played golf with Alex Johnson. Dane Gagai, I've met him several times in a Coogee. And the guys this is a typical Australian paper. No mention of COVID here. That's not a bad headline. I like this. There's got some boxing. Australia belts Beijing. I don't know what they're building Beijing. Government blocks China road deal with Victoria. So we're blocking China. I thought, oh, that's pretty good. We should do more business with India and less with China. More business with India, less with China. The orcas, the orcas, what do you mean? Some whales? What are you talking about? No, it's not. It's in fact the South Sydney Rabbitohs. I want you all guys to go to a website and support Rabbitohs. Okay, the South Sydney Rabbitohs. R8. This is them there. The Rabbitohs are here. That's the name of the thing. The Rabbitohs. See the Rabbitohs? Go Google the Rabbitohs and go and support South. So I want you to be a part of that network because we're going to interview more and more Rabbitohs supporters about cricket as well. They love their cricket. That's a great idea. In fact, there's a guy called Craig Coleman, Tugger Coleman. I should actually interview. He would be great. In fact, maybe tomorrow morning I'll head down to the beach tomorrow about this time. I'll actually drive. Well, what we'll do is we'll go from here and we'll head down towards the beach and we'll spend some time there and mix with people who are down on the beach. That would be a great idea. I'd love to do that with you guys. It'd be fantastic. Certainly would be great. All right. Any other? Okay, let's return to the cricket, guys, shall we? You should do some tours of unknown grounds in Australia. I will actually go back to Barrel one day, where Bradman played on a whole host of grounds. Intriguing backgrounds. It's like an archaeological dig. That's a very relevant point, Ashok Tatani. I'm worried the IPL will be cancelled due to the virus. So I'm very worried about that. But so far, so good. Let's hope it keeps going. Which IPL team is like the Australian team? Honestly, at the moment, I think Rajasthan Royals. A bit of an imploding surface at the moment, the Australian team. They're not doing very well. I love small, beautiful grounds, yes. There's a place, there's quite a few lovely grounds. Coogee Oval, it's right next to the beach, beautiful ground. Wavell Oval. Victor Trumper Park is a place I could take you to. Great grounds. We could do shows from there, sure. We may do that. We may do themed shows from grounds. Why not? I might get the people from the ground to actually host us. They should be recorded, though, not live necessarily. Now, Ismooks, if you go through you've said that, you need to go on my YouTube page, go to playlists, and go down the playlists. So you go across, hit playlists. I think it's something like videos, then playlists. Then you go down and you look for history. There's an actual tab for history, and on the tab of history, you will find I've done regular reports on the MCG and its history, the SCG and its history, Adelaide Oval and its history. They are all documented there. So I have, and also Barrel and Bradman's Home and its history. There's at least 4 or 5 places that I've done historical talks on, not only on my platform, also on Extra Time. So you need to look at that. So Ismooks, I want you to go and have a look, or everybody have a look at and Amaris, go and have a look on the small grounds. Show us a small ground near your house. What you want me to do that right now? When the sun's up properly, I might do that. If we're still on there, I'll do that then, because that would be great. If you want a tour of that, I'd love to do it. It'd be my honor to do it. I would adore to do that. We certainly have a lot of people viewing. The numbers are very, very good. I'm very happy, guys. Okay, is Hobart covered? Have I covered Hobart? No, not specifically, but I will do that. SCG, MCG, Adelaide Oval, absolutely. Barrel, absolutely. The ones I'll need to do are Wacker, Hobart, and to a lesser extent, obviously Gabba as well. Gabba's history is a bit checkered. It's not the most beautiful of grounds in my opinion. It's pretty ordinary. Exactly. But I have done that. I want you all okay. First and foremost, anyone that's viewing the show today and have not subscribed, I'm going to get my crystal ball and I'm going to look at it and see whether you have or not. So I want you all to, first of all, if you haven't subscribed, hit the subscribe button. So you're viewing the videos, you're liking them, and you're sharing them. Viewing them, you're doing that. Liking them, I hope you're liking them, not just viewing. Sharing them. Take the time of getting the link to a video and the actual YouTube page, attaching it to your WhatsApp list, and just send it to all your friends and say, why don't you have a look at this? Work colleagues, whomever. Well, have a look at it and tell them to subscribe and do the same thing. It would help me greatly. Because as I said, 10% of people subscribe, 90% view regularly, absolutely almost daily they view, 90%, but they don't subscribe. I know it means logging in and that can be a bit of a pain, but please, it's worth it, guys. It helps someone like me greatly and makes my time worthwhile. And I sincerely mean that. I want to continue this, but I need to grow. And that's where my relationship with you starts and finishes. So when is a fan conversion is on, we are excited to be with you. Himanshu, I think I told you, you've sent me your email. I think send it to me again, please, now in the comments here, if you want to be on it. Hi, Norman, big fan. I love you. Thank you. I really appreciate that. You're the only channel where I like every video. You deserve it, Norman. There's these sort of comments. You need to tell your friends. I'm not saying you have to, but please, for my sake, do it. You've all got a network of 20, 50, 100 people that you know well or kind of well, you work with, your colleagues, with your neighbours with. Say, look, are you interested in cricket? Yeah, well, there's a great channel here. Have a look at this. And if you don't mind, subscribe. Very simple. You're my voice. You're my army out there doing my work for me. What's my favourite stadium in India? My favourite stadium in India? Well, there's a few. I've been to most of them. I mean, I love Chennai. I love that stadium. I love Chinnaswamy Stadium in Bangalore. I love Brabourne. I've stayed at Brabourne. The ones in Delhi, I've stayed. A lot of the Jim Carters, I've stayed at as well. Wankhede is a magnificent stadium. I mean, the list goes on, really. Amritsar, near there. I mean, obviously, Chandigarh, up to Dharamshala. Dharamshala is one of the most beautiful settings. Absolutely, one of the best. But my favourite ground, which I haven't got to yet, is probably Ahmedabad. I haven't been to, so I don't know. But I'd say my favourite is Eden Gardens in Kolkata. The history of that ground is stupendous, amazing ground. Eden Gardens is my favourite probably at this point in time. I haven't seen all of them. I've seen maybe 15 of them, maybe 20 over my years. So please, if you're addicted to my videos, you have to share. I'm going to be quite angry with you now. View what you're doing. like them, which you're not always doing, but you should just press a like. Make comments in the comments bar. Don't make me make all the comments. I'm replying to them all, you know that. And subscribe. If you're really keen, there's membership. And some of you are members where you get to have exclusive stuff from me. In the future, we'll have dinners together. You'll get to meet me, the whole thing. And others, all the legends. So that's what you need to do. Please do that. It's your jobs, it's your responsibility as fans to do that. And it's a lucky draw for subscribers. I'm going to do that. I'm starting. That's not the best of hats, but I'm going to start merchandising of shirts and that. This is actually extra time, but I've got one for this channel as well. I'm going to start to do that. Okay, so don't worry. I'll be doing that more and more and more. So that's one of my agendas. I'll be making sure. It's a matter of how much time I do. I upload 4 or 5 videos a day and do live ones. I've got to find time to do all these things. It's not always that easy, guys. It's not always that easy, but I'm getting there. What do you guys think of Anisha Tucker? Have you seen her? Have you seen Anisha Tucker? Make comments, guys. Let me know. Please take my day. Uday Sharma. I'm happy to take your name. You're a great person. I'm glad to have you involved with the channel, and many, many thanks to you. Many, many, many thanks to you. Now, Ashton Turner. I drove past Eden Gardens. It is huge. Seen one connect for a function and a same in Punjab. Forget its name. Is that in Chandigarh? Probably. I love cricket. I've been to, in the world, I think it's well over 250 grounds, maybe close to 300 grounds all over the world. Played in all of them too. SCG, MCG, Lords, Arundel Castle. You haven't seen Anisha Tucker? You haven't seen her? You haven't seen her? Yeah, if you go to the page, if you go to my YouTube channel, let me just get my YouTube channel up. I'm just getting my YouTube channel up, guys. Let me bear with me a minute. She features well and truly there. There she is. Amazing girl. That's her there, guys. Do you see? In the yellow top. That's her there. So she was on one of the recent videos. All right, have a look at that. But I'm just going to show you some things about my page. Let's have a look. If you look at the home page there, can you see the home page, guys? Can you see that there's the headings along the top? You've got home videos. Oops, sorry. I want to start there. Can you see that there's the headings along the? You see home videos playlists. If you press on playlists, you get a whole heap of playlists, right? And on the playlist list, if you scroll down the playlist, you'll get there's liked videos, IPL Extra Time, membership, IPL2020, Pretty Parlour, Cricket Tragic, fans, newspapers around the world, legends. There's one called. Can you see the one's called Cricket History? Can you see it? See Cricket History? Cricket History, okay, Cricket History. Press on Cricket History. There's a whole heap of videos there. If you scroll up, there's a whole heap of videos I've done that show venues. Let me pick one. It says see the history of the SCG. Click on that.
It was also known as the Bob Stand. The Bob Stand because it cost $1 to get into the stand. Very interesting.
A lot about the history of stands. Go back and have a look at that one.
That particular stand was actually named after one of the original trustees.
Only a very small amount of views. That was back about 3 months ago. I did that. Have a look at it. There's also a whole there's a heap of them. If you look, there's a whole heap of videos I've done. Whole heap of them. Cricket at the MCG.
Monumental moments for World Cup cricket happened at the MCG. The ground is also the second biggest ground in the world behind the newly built Gujarat Stadium. It's the biggest in the Southern Hemisphere. Yeah. Has had crowds well over 100,000 up to 120,000 in its time. But I'm here to talk to you about.
You need to watch these programs. It's on another channel actually as well, but it's great stuff.
The relationship to the external part of the state.
I've done a lot. Go to that cricket history, and you'll see a lot of great videos, a lot of stuff that you need to. So look at my playlist. If you're bored, you have to be a little bit bored. There's a lot there to be seen. There's a lot. I've done literally hundreds of videos already. Okay, so please have a look. You like one stadium, the crowd environment. Ahmedabad Stadium looks amazing on screen. Dharmshala is breathtakingly beautiful. Absolutely. Absolutely beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. So don't forget playlists. Look down, you'll see history. Look through them. There's some that are mixed, but have a good look. Yeah, the Bradman one looks impressive. Would love to see more of it. So Bradman is amazing. I'm very fortunate to know Andrew Lemming personally, who has a home down there. This is actually the Bradman home, 52 Shepherd Street. So if you Google 52 Shepherd Street in Bowral, Shepherd is an S-H-E-P, Shepherd, S-H-E-P-H-E-R-D, Street, Bowral, you'll see all about that. That's worth looking at. We have Sharik Malik from India and Delhi. Hello from there. The RCB are champions. Yes, I would agree with it. They certainly are very, very good. You know, I think it's a matter of RCB probably deserve to have a championship, and so does Delhi Capitals. I think they're the two teams that'll be the ones that'll be in the final, hopefully. Well, Mumbai Indians are going to be in there as well, and CSK. Mumbai Indians and CSK are previous winners. Delhi Capitals, old Delhi Devils, and of course, RCB have not won. So that would be, let's be honest, it'd be nice to see RCB or Delhi Capitals win because they both probably deserve their opportunities. And as in Delhi Capitals, ran last when Ricky Ponting got involved. They moved to third. Last year to second. Now first, maybe. RCB have been up there as well. Deserve to be thought of first. So it'd be great to see RCB versus Delhi Capitals. Why? Because they're both teams that have never won. So whoever wins that will be the winner for the first time. So a big celebration for all sides involved. And I think that's probably the way to look at it. Yeah, I think RCB Delhi Capitals will be my final. KKR is still my favourite team, but it's not playing well enough. You can't be in there if you're not playing well enough. It's as simple as that. As simple as that. As simple as that. So we're going well, guys. We're doing very well. I need some more questions from you guys. I need questions. I need statements. I need you to write some more. Would you do it for me, please? Okay. Can you try interview some members of the stadium in each ground during next Ashes? Absolutely. The Ashes tour, we're going to be, I'm involved with Sky. Well, I'm hoping to be involved with Sky News as well. And my own program, I'll be covering a lot of Australia, England coverage because I'm going to be here for every single match. Yeah, I would ask. Everyone's in Australia. Everyone's a big fan of Coley and Maxwell. Unbelievable. In fact, I might go and do a video out in the streets today. How about that? Huh? Why not? Absolutely, it's a must do. A must do. There's so much to gain from that. Now I'm looking at my subscribers list now. I'm expecting to see a large number. I'm going to have a look at my dashboard. They call it. Yeah, the numbers are certainly growing. Certainly is a jump. Thanks to you guys. We've got to get that happening. Ask me questions, guys. I'm in a mood. I'm in a mood to talk. Do you want to go to the beach? It's too cold. It's far, far too cold. Far, far too cold. I mean, to me, okay, I did a poll. I did a fan poll, which I had a bit of fun with. I might do it again. I'm going to put some more girls' names on this time, so we'll see. But I'm going to do a fan poll right now. You know where the fan poll is, guys? The fan poll, I do that. Do you all know where that is? Can someone tell me in our audience where do I put the fan poll? What part of my YouTube channel? Do you know? Okay. Again, do you see that there? Can you see you've got playlists, videos, and you've got community. See the community tab? Community. Okay. Press on community. Then you get things that I put there. I put a whole list of things. So I'll put that one there about my sports day involvement. What I'm going to do now is put a question there. The question will be, What do you reckon the question should be, guys? Give me a question. Who is the most attractive? I'm typing as we go. Who is the most attractive host or guest? And I'm going to put down a few names. Who should we put down? We should put probably down. I'll start with me. Anisha Tucker. So guys, get ready for this. Get ready to answer this. I'm going to be putting up there. Anisha Tucker. Who else am I putting? What did I put? Aparna Saini. Pretty Upala. Shapali. We're okay. Now, this is going to be an interesting poll, this one. Let's see if you guys can all go there and see what you think. This is fun, guys. Who was the most attractive guest or host? You got me, you got Anisha, you got Aparna, you got Pretty, you got Shapali. Let's have to see what your comments are of that. Let's see if we'll make comments. One vote's in there already. I'm 100%. That's funny. First vote was probably my mother. No. This is a good question. Which social media channel or IPL team do you find most interesting? I do like Delhi Capital's social media platform, their channel and their team. Why? Because Ricky Ponting, always great to listen to him talk, always great to listen to him decide on what's going on. Oh, hello. We've got everyone's on 33%. Oh, Pretty Opala's jumped to fourth. No, we've got a poll going on here. Pretty Opala's probably making all the comments now, Jay. It's going to be very interesting to see. Shapali Virakoti hasn't got a single vote. That's incredible. She is a glamorous girl, lovely girl. We've got 4 votes. Someone's changed their votes. They're giving Pretty Opala votes and just me. So that's interesting. And we'll see what happens. All right. You're a big fan of Maxwell, Shahrukh Malik. So am I. He's a great player. He's a great theatre. He's actually not a bad person. He's actually quite a bit of fun. A lot more down to earth than some of the other Australian players are. And he's made a lot of money, and he's humbly that way. He's also married to a girl who was of Indian background. I don't think she was born in India. I don't think so. I'm not sure about that, but she certainly is Indian background. Love, oh my God, Indian women are the most beautiful women in the world. Probably Sri Lankan women are up there as well. Pakistani women are good looking. So are Bangladesh. There's quite a few countries, but yeah, India's right up there. Right up there. Oh, I've dropped to 75%, 25%. People are changing their votes. People are changing their votes. That's interesting. Oh my God. Vote for me, guys. Just quietly, vote for me. All right. The final word on the game that we saw today. RCB, by all stretch of the imagination, are the leading side now, having not lost a match. You can't deny Delhi Capitals came back nice in the previous match, and Mumbai Indians, at the moment, still in the top 4 and deserve to be there. And of course, we mustn't forget CSK. We mustn't forget CSK. We mustn't forget CSK. There's certainly a lot more about CSK to come. Thank you, Himanshu, for voting. That's great. RCB is the team to beat. I totally agree. Absolutely, totally agree. But Delhi Capitals, I've said all along, they're probably good to go under the radar a little bit, Delhi Capitals. Let RCB get all the prominence. and then later come and win. That's a trend in competitions as well, where a team lays a little bit low, while the other team always says, "Oh, we're going to win, we're going to win, we're going to win," and then fall to when they least want to. That's the problem. RCB and Delhi Capital, the biggest problem for those two teams are the last hurdle, how they play in the last game. That is the penultimate moment when they need to get their act together. And that Mumbai Indians have had experience of that, and so have CSK. That's the difference. It's the experience of winning in the absolute last match. And the CSK and Mumbai are in there against Delhi Capitals and the likes of RCB. Then we're going to the experience of the day, as Ponting always says. What the mindset that you're in on the day that you play the final will be the telling tale, and that's where the likes of Ponting is important, because he's already instilling in his players, in his squads, that that's what you need to be like. And that's very, very true, and a very indicative approach to the way that they need to be. They need to be in the moment on the day when they play the very final match. There's no two ways about it. You can't afford not to be on song for that last match. It's very, very important. Very, very, very important. And I'd say that's the way that it should be. So looking at our efforts here, we've got, I've been all by myself today, but I think it's been a good change. It's good to have just me. You can chat with me endlessly. Let's look at some of the questions here. Only RCB 2021 champion, IPL, King Kohli. You would have to think that he's going to be a force, yes. But he's got the right people in his camp. Again, De Villiers. Again, Maxwell. Dan Christian. The bowling line that they've got is outstanding at the moment. And on top of that, you've got a great coach, Kadich, and a great overall director in Mike Hesson. Good role that Mike Hesson's not a coach, but he's a director coach. And he was instrumental in getting Jamison to play. And I'm sure Kadich would have been instrumental also to get Maxwell to play. They're not done. They're not done. They've done pretty well. They've picked some pretty good damn selections, to be honest. And I'm very impressed with the way they're handling it. So let's look at that. So we're getting very close. All right, guys. Any more questions? Come on, guys. Ask me questions. If someone wants to come on board, we can, in the last 5 minutes or so, I'll get someone, send me your email if you want to be on screen. I'll send you the link, and you just link in and you can be on the show. Okay, so let me know. We have quite an array of guests coming up. I mean, hopefully everything goes to plan with Steve Waugh. There's every likelihood that he will be on very soon to talk about his book. It's amazing. Spirit of Cricket India. It's an amazing book. And I'll try and put a copy of it online. Hopefully we'll get him to come on very shortly. Be great to have him there. He's quite an amazing guy to listen to. Okay, Shahrukh Khan's asking, where am I from? Who can tell him? I am living in Coogee, which is near Coogee Beach, in Sydney, Australia. And the time here in Sydney is 6:28 a.m. in the morning. The sun's up now. Not so much sun as what we've had in previous days, but the sun is up. And it's going to be a great day. Okay. Hi from Surya. That's very much a Sri Lankan name, isn't it? What do I think of ABD's batting today, or in general? His last batting effort was astounding. I would argue it was one of the best batting efforts I've seen in a long time. Some of the drives, some of the shots, the 360 degrees of his shots, especially on a pitch like Chennai, which was very ordinary, very low and very uneven and bounced and not coming under the bat. He played shots as if the ball was coming under the bat, which just goes to show how good he is. Another great question, will ABD make the World Cup? If he doesn't, South Africa are missing a trick. They're crazy if he doesn't play. They need him, and he's playing the whole of the IPL, and he's so ready for it. They should pay him overs to get him to play. In my opinion, you can't not have him on. You've got to have him on. You've got to have him. AB de Villiers has to be not only playing the team, he needs to be captain of South Africa. They sadly leave a captain. Quinton de Kock's disillusioned what's going on. He's not a bad player, but he's very disillusioned. I don't quite know what's going on there. It's very, very disturbing about good old Quinton de Kock. Chris Lynn is a person that I'm really want to see play more often. They can't have both of them in the side. I get that, but I don't know. I think they've got to do something there. They've got to get both of those players to play. That's my thoughts. Okay. Australia playing very little. They're all in the IPL. They didn't make the World Test Championship. Some of the players will be playing county cricket. There's possibly a tournament. I think the West Indies are playing. I think, but it's subject to COVID. We didn't go to South Africa, which is a major blow. The Ashes will be a little bit underdone. Boomer is captain of South Africa. No, I'm afraid he's not good enough to be captain. He's a good player, but not a captain. Now, I don't know why we've been asked this question, cats or dogs. I've always been a cat person. I've had cats from my life, but I also like dogs. I'd love to have a golden retriever or a Labrador. They're loving dogs. I love them, to be honest. Of course, I watched Paddock's batting. And what do you think in his future opening batsman? Yeah, he certainly will be. He'll be in there, but he's going to have to get Gill and Prithvi Shaw and Agarwal and a whole bunch of other guys out of the way to get to that role. But he's certainly on the way. Does he only open, though? That's my question. Does he bat somewhere else in the order? I don't know. I don't know where he bats. I mean, I'd like to know more about where he bats in the order, to be honest. That would be more of an interest to me. He bats somewhere. I mean, he may have to bat low in the order to get into the team. Let's be honest. That's probably what's going to happen. So, yeah, I'd say that's probably more likely. We've got quite a number of people online. Here we go. People talking about cats and dogs. I'm actually a cat whisperer, to let you know. I can walk the streets of Sydney and a cat can come to me and go, puss, puss. Yeah, oh, puss, puss. He looks at me. No, he's not a bad person. Comes up to me, starts to purr against my leg, and before I know it, I've got a friend. Love cats. Dogs are slovenly. I always thought dogs were male and cats were female. So my thoughts were that the male was the dog and the female was the cat. And that's kind of the way they're feminine. Cats are they're very feminine the way they walk, and they're not easy to get to. They don't let you into their life that easily. They make it a little bit difficult for you, but when they love you full. Absolutely. What happened to Ashton Turner? He was one of the stars of the ODC. Yeah, in different form. I'm not exactly sure what's going on with him. I don't personally have much of a favour for him. I'm not a big fan of him. I'm not saying he's bad, but it's just not my cup of tea. I don't know. He just doesn't quite have it. I mean, Cameron Green's someone who I think would be worthy of. He's a great all-rounder. Hasn't taken wickets at Test level yet, but he could well be the future there for even the IPL. He hasn't gone there, which is interesting. Surprised someone hasn't. Punjab King should have got Cameron Green or Cameron Green. They should have got before they got those other two young space cadets. I'm sorry, Meredith and Richardson. Richardson hasn't played too badly in a few, I think, in the Test arena. But something's not right. He's come back from injury. He's not really at his best, if I'm being honest. There's a lot more to be sorted out there with him. I think we haven't seen the best of him yet. Well, we may never see the best of him. If not the IPL, I'll be very surprised when he gets more of a go on the IPL. I have many more questions for you, sir. My next question is, how many IPL run KL will make this year, with 100 or not 100? Well, KL Rahul needs to bat low in the order to start with. If he bats as an upper middle order, he'll be more important to the side. Gale should open with Agarwal. They should have a first drop. Who did I mention before? I think it's Agarwal. Yeah, Agarwal, Gale, Milan, then whomever, and then Rahul. That's where he should bat. He's keeping as well. Will he get a century? He'll get more of a chance of a century if his team bats well towards the end of the season. I'd like to see him score 100. Whether his team's going to go any further is another question. Yeah, I think you're right. I think Green will eventually dominate. It could well be like that. Yes, Baba Azam is the number one player, though. Yes, and deservedly so. He's been playing fantastically. Kohli's been playing well too, but not quite as well as Baba Azam. Why do you think Stark didn't put his name in for IPL this year, given that he's a T20 World Cup chair? What's his going to be? Maybe that's the very reason why he didn't come. Maybe we've been good to have the practice, you agree, but he's played a lot in it. He doesn't need that exposure. He needed a break. And good on him. He could have made millions in India, but he decided to have a break. Quite frankly, he's worth a lot of money anyway, but he's decided to have a break, which is, you got to give him credit for that. What are my top 5 Indian talent in the IPL that are not regular yet in the Indian team? Padikkal, certainly. Ishan Kishan's not a regular. He's up there. Shreyas Kumar would have to be up there as well. The other. There's 3. So Ishan Sharma, Shreyas Kumar, certainly Padikkal. There's 3. Well, Mohammad Siraj is already in there, so we can't really call him one. Harsha Patel. Why not? Chahar is my one. There's my 5. Chahar Patel. Then you go into Ishan Kishan, Shreyas Kumar, and obviously Padikkal. They're my 5. Roshan, hopefully RCB this year will win the IPL. What do I think? They've got a great chance. They're in the top 3 with, I've said before, Mumbai, top 3. Mumbai Indians, RCB, and Delhi Capitals. CSK is a bit of a smoky, but they're in the top 3. They should go very close. But they're going to be, I hope it's an RCB Delhi Capitals final. Rajasthan, Sunil Dutta's here. Rajasthan Royals need to change their captain, and Punjab, they need to change their coach. Agree. And we got Keshav Hurla. So the Cummins maybe even be more than Stark, but he is still playing. Hasn't played a lot of white ball cricket in India, especially in the recent past. Yeah, I mean, Cummins is certainly the lead bowler in the world, they say so. Stark's probably, not 100% at the moment. If I'm being honest with you, I don't think he's 100%. Ismooks. Do you think there can be an India versus World 11 match if India gets another one? Of course. Australia had many, many, many games where Australia played a World 11. And I think the West Indies played World 11s back in their time. It will be so soon when India A will play World 11 and India B play a World 11. They're both capable of winning those games. It's quite intriguing. In fact, I'd like to see that. Someone should promote that. Maybe the ICC needs to promote that. Be good to see that happen. Yeah, for sure. David Milan should be back for Punjab Kings, yes. I would say so. Would Labuschagne be a good pick for Rajasthan as a replacement for Livingston? You can bat in the top order and bowl a bit on leg breaks. Well, why not? I'm not sure Labuschagne's interested. I thought he was going to county cricket. That's what I thought he was doing. So whether he wants to, prioritise county cricket over the World Cup, I'm not sure. That's probably where it sits with those. Labuschagne's not a captain, though. Please don't tell me he's a captain. Okay. We need to see a World 11 play India. Yes, I agree. I think Stark managed his workload. He's injury prone. Yes, agreed. Well, just mentally needing a rest, and his wife, they barely see each other. I mean, she's playing, Alyssa Healy plays for Australia. She's running around the world too, playing lots of cricket. So this might be a rare moment they're both able to spend some time together. Maybe they might be planning kids. You never know. That'll happen one day. So they want a little baby Healy. I mean, imagine it. Alyssa Healy plays for Australia. Her husband, Mitchell Stark, plays for Australia. Their uncle, Ian Healy, played for Australia. Their father, Greg Healy, a good administrator. Not sure about his cricket. I haven't seen much of his cricket. I know him pretty well. Maybe he can play one of the games for the SCG11, which is the team we both are involved with. Maybe Rassi van der Dusen, another option for Rajasthan. No, I don't think much of him. Why not play Mitchell Stark in the IPL, but Cummins and Hazelwood and the big stars are playing on Stark? Okay, Hazelwood decided to rest. You've got to respect that. Stark decided to rest. You've got to respect that. Mitch Marsh, I wouldn't worry about. And Cummins is there. He's still young and hasn't quite put his, well, he has, but he'd like to do more of it. Plus, he's just bought a $9.5 million house in Sydney. He probably needs to get a bit of that debt down. Who knows? Yeah, guys. So I'm going to have I should see how my poll's going. Shall I see how the poll's going? Let's have a look here. Ooh. After 29 votes, I'm 48%, Pretty's 45%, and Aisha and Apana are 3% each. Shapali hasn't scored a point. That's a joke. That's a real joke. I'm going to say Shapali deserves a vote. It's quite funny. Okay. I think Australia cricket will be happy to see informed Maxwell unless they ruin with betting these bad matches. The fact is, yeah, they are happy to see Maxwell play well. Keshav, is it possible to collaborate with you on a video? I run my own channel and as well on cricket and music myself, and would love to have you on Sunday. Send me the message. Tell me more about it. Why isn't there an Australia and New Zealand series arranged for later in the year, given travel? Yeah, exactly. Very, very straight to the point. Very good point, Ismooks. Lailan Chowdhury, do you think Pujara will find a place in CSK? And if not, shouldn't he be released for Test Championships? Yes. Well, not for Test Championships, but for the county circuit, yes. If he's just sitting there doing nothing, but he's getting paid, don't forget. He's getting paid probably very well. But yeah, it's about time he goes and plays. So he needs to get some county experience because they're playing later on, and I think that would be good for him. Yes, I agree with that comment totally. Where do I connect with you? Just message me here. Just message me here. Message me here. Or not in the live chat, on the full message chat. Put an email or something and we'll talk about it and I'll send you through. All right? Let's have a look. Just checking on a few things. We seem to be, yeah, we've gone almost 2 hours, guys. Starting to get a bit long on the tour. It's actually, it's in India, for example, it's now 6:42 here. It's 2:12 in the morning in India, 6:42 in Australia. And maybe it's time for some of you to consider going to bed. I'm not sure. Okay. Any other questions, guys? I'll give okay. I'm going to take 5 more questions. Do you think Rian Parag action is legal? Great question. What other people think about that? You'd have to say it is, although it looks a bit dodgy. I'd say it probably is. They would have done biomechanics on his action, I'm sure, by now. Otherwise, he wouldn't be playing, let's be honest. So you would think that that's pretty much been done. Any more questions, guys? All right, guys. We're going to have to consider ending the conversation. Unless I get questions, I can't. This is a question time for you as viewers. You need to give me some sort of indication of where we're at before I have a biscuit. Did Punjab play an early on BBL reputation and price tag, and later realised it was probably not the right move that they played? Absolutely, they'd be sitting there going. The fact that they've dropped not one of them but both of them, they've had enough of them. If they've dropped one of them, it means they still think they're okay, but they've dropped both of them. Not one, but both. They're both, I mean, they bowled full tosses and wides, and they were tonked quite heavily. So, yes, I think they did make a mistake, and they are regretting it. There's no doubt they're regretting it. Absolutely no doubt they're regretting it. Mull seems to be given good English contracts. I'm not sure who you're talking about. Does Mumbai middle order an issue? Yes. was discussed earlier that there's a brittleness to their batting order at the moment. Not overwhelmingly, but a little bit. Can Fleming and Dhoni be risky enough to like Mumbai, more like Morgan and Bayliss, and play on the blueprint England plays white ball cricket at level 11? Maybe, but yeah, well, he's doing it now. He had a lot of players right through the innings. He got 20 odd runs, but each, and they still got the big total of 180, relatively big total. I'm interested in Mull talking about their best wins in Australia. I'm not sure who Mull is. You need to tell me. Does anyone know what he means by? I'm not sure. I'm not sure what you mean by Mull. All right, guys, we've gone 2 hours now, so I'm happy to finish up now. Let's forget. Again, I want 2 more questions, and I'm packing up shop. Why is RCB wasting the number 3 spot? Good question. Really, Kohli is opening. Either have Maxwell or Abby de Villiers up 1. I agree. My favourite team is KKR. Who do I believe is going to win this year? DC, the Delhi Capitals. Do associate cricket members participate in BBL? You mean from associate teams? Yeah, I think the guy from Nepal played. Not many, though. Where am I from? I'm from Coogee Beach, in Coogee, that is, Coogee, in Sydney, Australia. Sydney, New South Wales, Australia. So Coogee Beach is nearby. Coogee is the suburb. Sydney is the city. New South Wales is the state. And Australia is the country. Certainly. All right. We certainly have got a lot of people to view. Any more questions, guys? Otherwise, I'm going to be leaving. All right. Questions means I eat a chocolate biscuit and I answer a question. Come on, guys. The narrow road. Ask some questions. Pretty Apollo is doing something else to be on the next 3 nights. Chris is busy. Aparna's ill. Debasha has an internet connection. I would have had Aparna and Debasha's on the show tonight. Previously, I had Chris Vernon and Pretty, so we're rotating. Debasha's not here because of his internet connection, and Aparna's not well. Sydney time now, Roshan Kumar, is 6:48 a.m. So we're 4.5 hours ahead. Of course, Alam Ali will be back on again many times with our Norm Ali, as we're going to call it. He's back on regular. I'm on Twitter. Yes, my Twitter handle is down here. You can see my Twitter handle there. See, my Twitter handle's there. At Norm Koch. Norman Koching at Norm Koch. You've asked me already before. Pretty Apollo's not here today. She's interacting with me by messaging earlier. She'll be on more nights, don't worry. Just having a quick look at the system. He said Delhi Capitals. So Malali, I think, is the Delhi Capitals. And also Mumbai Indians. I recently collaborated with Jared Kimmer, so I thought maybe I should approach more cricket experts. Keshav Hurler, what did you do with Jared Kimber? Because Jared Kimber's a great mate of mine. What did he do with you? Tell me more about what he did with you. Was he on your show? What did you go on his show? What happened? Because I know Jared Kimber for years. I know since he was a kid, you would argue. Or young, at least. An Aussie, married to a Sri Lankan, is Jared Kimber, living in England. But he's often in Australia. In fact, I'm going to get Jared Kimber on my show as well. Instead of doing live streaming, you should make analysis of every game, edit, and then post the video. You will get more views. Maybe I will. But I do like interacting with fans live. That's the way you do interactions, not just messages, but live. So look at that hat. Eyes on cricket with Norman Kochnick. I've got an extra time shirt on that, but also got a shirt like that. I'm going to get better quality in terms of the logoing. I'm going to get the cups, everything. All right. Kesha, if you've done a video with him, can you put that link in my Twitter or here? And I want to see which one that was, if you wouldn't mind. So I've got a bit of an understanding what you're all about. Okay. Was Jared Kimber's a pretty good judge. So I respect what he would do. He would probably, have a fair handle on what he wants to do in terms of interaction. So you let me know. You send me a link. That's important. Okay. All right. Okay, that's a good question. They just played New Zealand, but over in New Zealand, I think. Well, it's now hitting winter time, April now. So April, May, June, July won't be much happening here in Australia, and August. Probably by September, I'm not sure, but I think maybe Australia's touring. I don't know offhand, but I can find out. Yeah, I've known him probably known Jared Kimber for at least 10 years, if not 15 years. Yeah, great friend. Any more questions, guys? I'm here, ready to answer your questions. Hard-hitting, answer your questions. I mean, Jared Kimber is very clever, very quirky. I remember his first video that Jared Kimber did. I remember being there when he was videoing it. It was Alistair Cook and Strauss. And they were talking post-match. They were both together. They kept looking at each other lovingly. And he videoed the lovingly moments and put some Brokeback Mountain music to it. Made it a bit of a, they're not gay, of course, but made it a bit of a gay thing. And it was quite funny. So it was a bit of a spoof. Yes, on Twitter. Send it to me on Twitter. Also send it to me here. And the link's here. Either not in the live chat, but after I do, put it in the actual messaging. Okay? How about getting an Aussie woman player on show someday and how they came up through the ranks? Easy. Plenty of them I can do. Alyssa Healy can be one of them. But I have, if you've been watching, I've done one with Shripali Wirikoti from Sri Lanka. There's one for Winifred Juraseum. There's Gargi Wankar. There's a whole heap of players on there that I've already done. What's your take on Mankad? I actually know Rahul Mankad. Rahul is the son of the great Mankad story. Every legitimate reason to be Mankading. If he plays out of his crease, he's taken unfair advantage. He's able to be taken out. Why not? Yeah, he's human. Jared Kimber is a crazy character. A lot of fun. Very intelligent. Very articulate. Very well written. Well versed on that side of things. You got to give it to him. He's a great person. Himanshu, I've just told you if you want to send your email address, I can't find it. Yeah, I'll get Jared on. Don't worry, we're good mates. We'll be on soon. In fact, he may be prompting me now. You can prompt him as well, but I'll prompt him. He'll be on soon. What was the most exciting moment in Australian cricket history? The Tide Test was one incredible match where Australia played West Indies at the Gabba. Anytime that Jeff Thompson bowled, again, in the Lilly era, Bradman, of course, that was an amazing 1948 invincible side on the Treading. There's some of the great examples. Maybe when Michael Clark hit his 100 on the SCG, Steve Orr got his century on the SCG. Yeah, a lot of great moments like that. Our World Cups, numerous World Cups. Where does Paddock fit in the playing 11? Well, he's an opener, isn't he? I don't know. But he probably could bat lower in the order if he was. He'd be quite happy to bat anywhere in the order if he got the chance to play for his country, I bet. My favourite Aussie series was when Aussie travelled to Windies under Steve Orr and beat them in the 90s. Yeah, that would be pretty harsh up there. Ashes versus India. Yeah, the most recent one. My God. Rishabh Pant scoring the winning runs. Why not have that? Sun is shining, always there. Are you an early bird or did you sleep at all? I think it's more I didn't sleep at all. I know I did sleep, but not much. All right, guys. 2 more questions and I'm going. I've got to go, guys. We've been online for over 2 hours and 10 minutes. All by myself, remember? It's quite an effort. So when the video's over, the live video it is, make comments. Not in the live chat will be finished soon, so you'll be able to do that. Why don't you put it in the proper comments as a messaging in the so-called comment section of the the video after the video stops. So when it finishes, don't just go off and walk off. Go to the video straight back and make comments there, please. Keshav Hula, I want you to Kartik, Krishna, I want you to make comments there. Ashes have cooled down. I don't know what you mean. What do you mean? It's less important or less watched? Or the India versus Australia series you're talking about? Niraj Singh is going berserk with his messaging. Hello, Niraj Singh, how are you? Is the next Aussie captain's position something there? Yes, it is. Well, it's Tim Payne. As far as Justin Langer is concerned, it's still Tim Payne. He said he's not entertaining the need to have Smith there, which is going to cause some dissension, I'll tell you now. Absolutely, it's causing some dissension. It's going to be very interesting what happens there. Very, very interesting. What would it take for Australia to win a T20 World Cup? Could this be their year or next year to come at home? Well, they won't win it this year. There's too many good sides. England, India, even Pakistan, the West Indies. I can't see Australia being any better than any 4 of those, and New Zealand too. Next year, if it's in Australia, maybe, but where are these players coming from? They're not. We're not up to scratch at the moment. We're certainly not a winning side anymore. Yeah. Okay. All right, guys. I think we're time is up. I've answered all your questions. It's been really, really positive. Very, very positive indeed. I think we've had a wonderful discussion. I think we've had a great afternoon, evening, morning, whatever time of the day you may be. So please make sure that you view the posts, which you're doing. Like them. So press the like button. I want the likes to go up. I want more likes. Then share. Get on your WhatsApp. Attach the link to both, say, this video and to the overall YouTube channel video, and then say, guys, hey, this is a great channel. If you think it is, why don't you go and have a look at it? If you like it, log in and subscribe to the channel and hit notifications. Okay, so that's one thing I like it, including your. Is anyone here now listening to this and making comments but not a subscriber? That's interesting. Do I think Langer continues to coach long term? I think it is on shaky ground. Okay, so I think everything next Neil was telling me to go. I think it's right. He's right. We need to go. All right, guys. Thank you. And this is Norman Costing here for Eyes on Cricket with Norman Costing. Please go about, looking at my channel and help me in the future to grow. See you next time. Don't forget Steve All coming up, next night's games, and so on. And we've got the young blokes, Sam and Pat and Paul from the Gold Coast. See you guys.